All right, everybody. Welcome to the spring 2024 semester of General Biochemistry, which is Biochemistry 521ZA. So this is the online version through Kansas State University, which is just an introductory one semester course for you to learn biochemistry. So I'm just going to do a very quick introduction and basically just go over the syllabus so that we're all on the same page. And if you have any questions about anything that I talk about in this introduction, please just do not hesitate to let me know. So who am I? So I will be your instructor for the entire course. I'm the only instructor. There's no teaching assistants. Everything goes through me. So my name is David Meekins. So I have a PhD in molecular and cellular biochemistry, which I got in 2014 from the University of Kentucky. And so I have 12 years experience in biochemistry and biomedical research. So I worked for 12 years as an actual biochemist. And then I have 2 years of teaching experience. So I have 1 year written here, but it's actually 2 years. And so I switched my focus from research to teaching because I enjoy it so much. And so I've made everything on this course. Like I said, I'm the only person you'll go to. So if you have any problems whatsoever, you can contact me on Canvas or email me directly at dmeekins@ksu.edu. So I'm in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biophysics here at Kansas State. And so I do have an office. So if you are local, you can come visit me for office hours. I'm in Burt Hall, room 203. And so I am available pretty flexibly for office or Zoom hours. So if you ever want to meet, if you're having an issue, or if you want to discuss any sort of concepts in the lab or anything like that, just reach out. I'm happy to talk to you about anything. And a lot of times, emailing back and forth is fine too. If you have a question, you can email me and I'll get back to you. But a lot of times I can explain things in like 5-10 minutes that would take several pages of an email. So it's up to you. But if you want to meet or anything via Zoom or in my office, just let me know and we can set something up. So there is a Zoom meeting ID and passcode for the entire course. So if you ever need to meet with me, these are located on the homepage or the syllabus page in Canvas. And so you'll use this ID and passcode for basically any Zoom meeting that we would have. And so how is this course set up? So it's an online course. And so all of the lectures, there's 30 lectures in the course. Those are all pre-recorded and they'll be available on Canvas. This is an asynchronous course. So we have hard deadlines for assignments and exams. But other than that, you're on your own. I'm not going to make sure that you watch every lecture or anything like that. So I do recommend that you finish all your lectures at least 2 days before the exam, which is outlined in the course schedule. And that'll allow you to stay track on the course. We also will have quizzes. I'll go through all that as well. And so the instructional approach is that there's quizzes. You sort of make sure that you're keeping up with the work. There are also exam practice questions in either your textbook or another textbook that you might use. And so for the main textbook, and I'll go through this in a minute, the suggested questions are outlined on Canvas. So I'll show you where those are as well. So if you have any questions about the information, just let me know. So I'm available to talk to you about any concept that we discuss in the course. So there is a recommended textbook. And so the textbook, which a lot of the figures from the slides and everything come from, is from this textbook, Biochemistry, a Short Course, which is designed for a one semester course. And so it's by Tymachko and these other people. The current edition is the 4th edition, but earlier editions are totally fine. Biochemistry hasn't changed in broad terms since these new versions were put out. So you can get a hard copy of this textbook through the bookstore or through the website, the publisher, Amazon, anything like that. We did secure a cheaper ebook price for you, and so that is available through the university bookstore. So the ebook version of this textbook costs $62.50. So that's as cheap as we were able to get you a textbook. And so again, this isn't a required textbook, it's a recommended textbook. There is also a Biochemistry Free-for-All PDF textbook, which I have a link on Canvas. So that's free. It's made by the Oregon State University. And so it covers all the concepts in this course. So you'll have to look through the table of contents to figure out which chapter corresponds to what we're talking about, but I'm sure you can all figure that out. Also, with people retire and stuff, and they collect textbooks over the years, older versions, but it's still good information. There are a lot of old biochemistry hardcover textbooks lying around in the biochemistry department. So if you are local and you want a copy of an actual hardcover textbook, let me know, and we might be able to get you something like to loan you for the semester, basically. And so you can use that textbook. So if you want to go that route, just let me know and we can arrange that very quickly. Okay, so grading. So this is a very structured course. There's stuff due every block, and it should be fairly straightforward. It should, there's no reason for it to be confusing at all. So what are your grades based on? Well, there are 14 homework quizzes. So basically every Sunday, you'll have a quiz due that'll cover between 1 and 3 chapters. So each of those, it's a quiz, and they're 10 points each. So that's 140 points. I also have these other things, these protein structure activities, which I'll talk about more. There are 5 of those. There's 5 blocks, 5 protein structure activities. Those are also worth 10 points, and so that's 50 points. There are also 5 applied biochemistry activities. I'll talk more about those. So 1 for each exam. Those are 10 points each, and so that's 50 points as well. At the end of the course, there will be 1 final essay, and that's worth 10 points. So, and then those comprise half your grade. So that adds up to 250 points. The other half of your grade will be from each of the exams. So there's 5 blocks in this course, and there's 5 exams. Each of those exams is worth 50 points. That means that there's 250 points total. So there's 500 points total in the course. Half of that is from the exams, and the other half is from these other assignments. And so we'll go through the course schedule, but make sure that you have the course schedule written down, and so you would know when all your deadlines are. It's a very structured course. There's no reason for you to miss a deadline in any way. So starting with the homework quizzes, sorry, there's actually 14 of those. And so those are made available through Canvas. And so those are due usually on each Sunday. Some Sundays there won't be one, but most Sundays there will be. And so each of these quizzes is worth 10 points. It's a 10-question quiz, 1 point per question. You can work with others, and you can use your books, and you can use your notes. So everything from these quizzes is going to come from the lectures. Everything from the exams is also going to come from the lectures. You can start and stop these quizzes anytime, but once you hit submit, that's your final submission. You can't go back and change questions, and you only get 1 attempt at each quiz. And it has to be submitted by the due date. If you start it and then the due date comes, it's going to accept whatever you had written on there. And once the due date passes, you can't access that quiz anymore. So make sure that you keep up with your quizzes every week. I also have 5 protein structure activities. And so these are where we'll actually look at the structure of different proteins. Proteins do basically every function in your body or any living thing's body that needs done. And so the structure of those proteins relates very clearly to the function of those proteins. And so if you can understand the structure, you can understand the function. There are 5 of these activities, 1 associated with each exam, where basically I'll go through some protein structures, and then you take a little quiz. So whatever is on those protein structures is not fair game for the exam if it wasn't mentioned in a lecture, but you do need to do those quizzes and everything. They're kind of designed as a review for the exam, though. It's like we look at protein structures related to what we've been talking about in the lectures. So doing these should help you study for the exam. And so there are 5 of those. They have hard due dates. They're not due on Sunday, though. They're due usually like close to 5 days to a week before the exam. So these are going to be due when the exam is coming up. There are also 5 applied biochemistry activities. These are the same things, except it's more I'm looking at the biochemistry that we're learning and then try to apply that to medical diagnostics or agriculture or something else that actually has an application in your regular life. So there are also 5 of these, and they are due shortly before the exam is due. So make sure that you look for the deadlines for these applied biochemistry activities. And so there are a quiz associated with each of these lectures or like videos. And so you have to answer those quizzes or the questions on those quizzes. You only get one attempt for the applied biochemistry and the protein structure activities. I don't think I have it mentioned on here, but there will also be one final essay. It's 10 points. Don't worry about that. That's at the very end of the course. Exams. So there are 5, like I said, there's 5 blocks or 5 sections, and there's an exam associated with each section. Each exam only covers the material in that block. Obviously, the material builds on itself, but even the final exam is only over block 5. It's not a cumulative 5 final exam. So each of these are worth 50 points. There's 25 questions, each question worth 2 points. You get, and so these are hard scheduled. So these are scheduled on a specific day. And so they're open that entire day for those 24 hours. But once you open the exam, once you start the exam, you have exactly 1 hour and 15 minutes to complete that exam. So do not start an exam unless you're ready to complete the exam in 1 hour and 15 minutes. After that, 1 hour and 15 minutes are done, or once you submit it, you don't get another chance to take the exam and you can't make up any questions or anything. And so make sure you get your exams done on the day when they're supposed to be finished. You can't collaborate with anybody else, but it is open book, open note. So if you have a note, you have your notes in front of you or you have the book, you can use those to complete the exam, but you can't use any other websites and you can't use help from everybody else. And so these exams will have a variety of questions, but they're all through Canvas. So it's basically multiple choice, true, false, maybe some small answer, some short answer questions, and that's about it, or fill in the blank or matching, stuff like that. Late or missing exam policy, don't be late or miss an exam. I'm not very, if you have a real emergency, like a family emergency, like, you know, somebody got into a car crash or something terrible happened, or if you're incredibly ill or something, let me know as soon as possible. I'm very happy to work with you to change sort of exam days or due dates or anything like that to deal with a legitimate problem that you're facing in your life. However, if you just forget or something, I'm going to be way less lenient and I'm automatically going to dock a bunch of points because that's not fair to other students and I want everything to be fair. So everything is due on the date that it's due. There are a lot of students in this course and we have to keep things running on rails. And so any late assignments without a reasonable explanation, I cannot guarantee that I will even grade them. You might just get an automatic 0. And so please let me know as soon as possible if you have some extenuating circumstances. And, you know, it's always fine to check with me to see whether it qualifies or not. For extra credit, there will be a couple extra credit opportunities later in the semester, but I don't have anything set in stone or anything. And so the grading goes by the normal grading. So a 90 and above is an A, 80 and above is a B, 70 above is a C, 60 and above is a D, and below that is an F. I normally don't curve the class, and so that's pretty much going to stand. So do depend on that. Okay, expectations. So what can you expect from me? Well, what you can expect from me is that you're paying good money for this course and you want to learn. So if you come to me with a question or a concern or an issue or something, I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I'm a workaholic. I like to work. I like to make sure that all of you guys get a good learning experience. Sometimes, though, I have other priorities that I need to deal with in the moment. And so give me 24 hours to get back with you. I will almost invariably get back to you way quicker than that, but give me 24 hours before you send another email. If I don't get back to you within 24 hours, please message me again. It might have gotten lost in my email or something, so let me know. And if it's the weekend, give me a little bit extra time. So I may have, somewhere else I have to be or something, not access to email or something. So if you email me on a Friday night, give me until Monday to get back to you. And also grades, that's not a big deal, but I'll get your grades as soon as possible. And so what I don't have it on here, but what I expect of you is basically, if you have a problem, let me know. If you're not understanding something, let me know sooner rather than later. If you let me know that you haven't understood anything at the end of the semester, there's nothing I can do for that. So just communicate with me. That's all I ask of you. And if you're confused about something, reach out and let me know. And if you have a personal issue where you're not going to be able to make a deadline, that's legitimate, let me know. Okay, so block schedule. So this course, like I said, I want it to be, I'm trying to make it as structured as possible so no one is confused. You should get all your material done and reviewed well before the exam so that you can review it rather than see it again for the first time. But that's all on you. I have no way of enforcing that or anything. So there's 5 blocks. So block 1 will be lecture 1 to 6. And so that'll go from Tuesday, the 16th till Monday, February 5th. And so that's because exam 1 is on February 5th. So this coming Sunday, quiz 1 is due. The next Sunday, quiz 2 is due. The next Sunday is quiz 3 is due. The day after that is the exam. And so the protein structure activity will be due for that block, and the applied biochemistry will be due for that block on the dates listed in your schedule. All the blocks are set up from this. So block 2 will start immediately after that, and we have exam 2 on February 23rd. So you'll have your quizzes, your protein structure activity, and your applied biochemistry activity. Block 3, same thing. You have your quizzes, a protein structure activity, and applied biochemistry activity, and it'll culminate with an exam on this one. Spring break will be in the middle, so that'll be about a week after spring break ends. Block 4, same thing, and block 5. So there's 5 blocks, 5 exams, and then all those quizzes and protein structure / applied biochemistry activity are due for those different blocks. Okay, so one other thing I offer, which has kind of dropped off. So before each exam, I'll also give you an exam review video. And so this is where I go over what I think are the most important concepts in that specific block. Do look at those. They are going to help you. But I also do offer an exam study group before the exam. So about 2 days, or like if it's on a Monday, I'll do it on that Friday at 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Central Time. All times are Central Time because we're in Kansas and we go by Central Time. I will have an exam study group. Well, basically, I'll be available on Zoom. And so if nobody comes, that's fine. If you do want to come and just ask some questions or something, that's a good time to do that. I'm also happy to meet with you via Zoom any other time. So again, just let me know. I also have a Talk to Me. So it's on Canvas. It says Talk to Me forum. And so this is, if you have a question and you think other people might benefit from that question, you're like, practice question chapter 2, question 7. I tried it and it didn't, I have no idea how to do it. This is a really good forum to ask those questions because I can post a video, I can respond, and then everyone can see that. So I don't get like multiple questions from the same person via email or whatever. If you have a question, think about putting it in the Talk to Me forum, and then everyone can benefit. So it's just a sort of courteous thing for your other students. So I will try to answer those within 24 hours. I don't get great notifications for those. Maybe I should change that in Canvas. But if I haven't done it for 24 hours, please let me know. Hey, there's a question in the Talk to Me forum that you haven't answered. Please take a look at that. On the syllabus, there's also a bunch of other information like copyright, technology, etiquette, academic honesty, policies, students with disabilities, our artificial intelligence policy and everything. I'm not going to go through those here. Hey, it's your responsibility to take a look at the syllabus and understand what the policies are for the course. Also, as soon as possible, make sure that you're on Canvas and you are able to navigate through it. Most of you have probably used Canvas before, so that shouldn't be a problem. But if there's any issues with any assignments not being available or something like that, please let me know and I'll fix it as soon as possible. Okay, so that's basically the whole syllabus. And so now I'm just going to finish with a few suggestions for how I think you can be successful in this course. So a lot of people are scared of biochemistry. It is a complicated topic, but it's not that crazy, and it's really useful and fundamental to biology. And so I hope you enjoy the course. And if you're confused by anything, let me know. This is within all of your grasp to understand this information. So what are my suggestions? So One big one is to read the chapters actually before watching the lectures. So if there's a chapter on nucleic acids or something, read a little bit about nucleic acids before you watch the lecture. You're going to get a lot more out of it if you're hearing me talk about it after you've already learned a little bit. Make sure that you watch those lectures on Canvas. And if you can, try to take handwritten notes. There's a lot of evidence that taking handwritten notes actually helps you remember things better. Finish those quizzes as early as possible, which allows you more time to prepare for the exam. Again, the days before the exam, you don't want to be learning new information. You want to be reviewing information that you already learned. So please try and do that. Questions from the book or any of these books, those are also a really great way to make sure that you're actually understanding the material. You can come to the study group prepared with questions, or you can set up a Zoom meeting with me prepared with questions. That's going to be a great way to understand these concepts. And the major one is if you do not understand a concept, ask me. There's nothing in this course that I don't have some sort of understanding of and have not thought about and explained to people before. That's why I'm in this job and qualified for it. And so you pay good money for this. You need to use me as a resource. That's on you to contact me to make sure that if you're not understanding something, that I can help you understand it. Obviously, I can't understand something for you, so you are going to have to put in that effort. And so give it a little time to sink in before you ask me, but feel free to ask me whenever about any sort of concepts. Another thing that's really helpful is there's a lot of short videos on YouTube with very nice animations that explain concepts that we go in here. So if you're learning about signaling and it's just not making cell signaling or signal transduction, it's just not making sense, go on YouTube, signal transduction. You'll hear somebody explain it in like 5 to 10 minutes in a way that's maybe even a little better than the way I explained it or something. So learning things from multiple sources is always helpful when you're learning any new topics whatsoever. And there's a lot of really good resources available to you. Okay, and just a quick note about my lecture notes. So my lecture notes are set up like this. And so I have my figures down here, I have a title, and then I have 3 lines. So if you look at that note, you should, from those 3 lines, sort of be able to understand what's going on. However, I also use these slides when I'm talking about them. And so one thing I suggest that you don't do is try to read this while I'm talking. So either hit pause, read it, and then hit play again, or listen to me say it, hit pause, think about it, and then read the little blurb. So there's a lot of evidence, like humans aren't actually that good at doing more than one thing at once. And so you may think you can read and listen to me at the same time, but your brain really isn't good at that, unless you have some magical powers that most other humans don't have. So anyway, and if there's any errors or anything in my slides or lectures, let me know and I'll fix them. And so that's it. I hope everybody enjoys the course. And again, if you have any questions or if anything was unclear from this introduction, please let me know. And then just don't be a stranger throughout the semester. Please use me as a resource. And I hope you all really enjoy biochemistry. It's a fascinating subject and one that's very, very important and will help you out in a lot of different fields. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the course and I'm looking forward to the semester. Thanks.